I think the transfer portal has become a really interesting topic lately because there's going to be a rule change here very soon. It's not official yet, but the NCAA is pretty close to essentially giving student athletes a one-time free transfer. And it's my opinion, Brett, that it's going to make the rich richer in college football, because anytime you don't win a recruiting battle at the high school level, now you're going to be talking about basically telling a guy, hey, look, we're not going to stop recruiting you just because you're going to play at Texas or you're going to play at Oklahoma. If things don't work out there, well, you keep in touch. You still have those relationships you built. Ohio State, Alabama, Clemson, Notre Dame, those kinds of programs are going to be able to poach kids that already have college experience that want to go play at a bigger school. I really do think that that's how this is going to end up. And so for Ohio State, the few kids maybe you don't win in high school recruiting battles, that still might not be game, set, match totally.
Yeah, I think you're onto something there, and I wonder. Part of me wonders how much the rich can get richer at this point. I mean,
Sure.
There's never been less parity in college football than there has now, than this current era. I mean, literally, you have at the start of every season, there are 3 programs capable of winning a national championship, and that's Ohio State, Clemson, and Alabama. Everyone else is, in some ways, you could separate them into 2 groups, really, being that tier 1 and everyone else, and that's a byproduct of the college football playoff. And whether or not you like the 14 playoff is fine. I'm indifferent. I'm totally willing to hear any argument as far as that's concerned. I do think that we are, as we get more and more into pro player situations, which I think we probably should, just on a kind of on a moral standpoint. I think the NCAA is better for that. But I think as we get further and further into that territory, in some ways it being an unknown territory, we're going to encounter situations that probably aren't in the best interest of college football long-term and short-term. And we probably won't be able to know that until the mistake has already happened. And then you correct it retroactively. We've seen the NCAA do that in years past with a lot of different things, specific to like boosters and a lot of times you don't know you made a mistake, or you don't know it's bad until you've been doing it for 4 or 5 years.
That's a problem.
Yeah, exactly. So I kind of am. I think it's a blank slate. I think it's a blank check. And if you are like a 4-star recruit and football, and that you didn't get that offer from the Clemsons, Alabamas, Ohio States of the world, but you go and play somewhere else, as long as you keep up the relationships with the coaches that were recruiting you, and they just happen to be there, that door is always open. And I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing, but I could potentially see that being maybe an issue 4 or 5 years down the road, for sure.